Going to do the solution to our assignment, and we are going to store all accounts generated inside this place. The first thing is, when users get there, you want to maybe welcome the users. Then you have a function register, then you have another function to log in. So let's say bank app. First test point. Then you ask the user, what do you want to do? Let's say main menu. Okay. So if it's equal to 1, that means the person wants to register. So let's create the registration function. So you want to get the user's first name. Let's start this together. Then last name. Then email. Then password. So next is you want to generate an account number for the user. So you can bring in something we call random. Random is inbuilt in Python. It's a module. We are bringing in this random module. So by bringing it in, now it is possible for you to make use of that random to generate random numbers. So we can now say random integer. You want to generate a random integer. So I want to get a range for the integer. If I want it to be an 8-digit integer, that means it's going to be from, for instance, this. Let's say I want to generate another number between 1 to 10. This will be 1, 10. So this is going to generate a random number between 1 to 10. Do we get it?
Yeah.
Okay. So if I want to generate a random number between a 2-digit random number, that will be between 10 and what's it called? 99. You know, any number between 10 and 99 will definitely be a 2-digit number. That is 10, 99. That's going to generate 2-digit numbers for us. So if I want it to be maybe 8-digit account number, so I can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is going to start from this and end at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is going to generate 8-digit numbers for us. 10 billion to 99 billion 999,999. Do we get it?
So you said it's 10 digits, not 8.
Okay, alright.
You wanted us to generate 10 digits.
Okay, thank you, sir. So we just add 2 to this. Thank you, sir. So this is going to generate a 10-digit number for us. What happens is that the number will be between this and this. Just with this concept. If I want to generate a 2 digits, it's going to be between 10 and 99. If I want to generate a 3 digits, it's going to be between 100 and 999. That is, any number lesser than 100, that's 2 digits. And any number more than 999, that's 3 digits. So, sorry, that's 4 digits. So 3-digit numbers will fall within this range. Using this same concept now, if I want to generate a 10-digit number, so what I will just do is that I will add 7 zeros to this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then 5. So it's going to generate a 10-digit number for us. Any questions so far? So next is, we want to now create a dictionary so that we can now push the dictionary, we can append it into these lists. So we can say new user. Is Mrs. Adeoye with us?
Yes, I'm here now. Sorry. Apologies. I couldn't talk before.
Okay.
I'm here now. Sorry.
So we are creating a property called first name, and the value is this first name. Oops. Then let's break it to the next line. So here is the dictionary for this user, for this new user that we just created. So we can now append the dictionary into this list. So we can say, this is a local variable, and this local variable is only accessible within this function. But by appending it into this list, which is a global variable, that makes this value now accessible to all functions. So we can come here and say accounts dot append new user. So we call on register. Any questions so far? Okay. In answer of question, let's proceed. So let's assume the user selected 2.
Sorry, quick one. What does append do again? I've forgotten. Can you please?
Append pushes a value into a list. Let's say we have a list. Inside this list I have type. If I want to add a new value to it, I can say a dot append candy. So this will push this candy into this list, so that if I print out the value of it, it's going to look like this. Do you get it?
Yes, I do. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. So let's look at for the login. So let's get the function login together. So if I want to log in, with maybe email or password. So email or account number together with password. Now, the user does not know the account number. Really, the user does not know his or her account number. So after generating the account number, it's good that we display the account number to the user so that the user can see the account number we generated. So we can say print registration successful. Here is your account number. So we now display this variable account number since it owns the account number. So this is going to print the account number to the user. The user can see the account number now. So at the point of logging in, we can now check, we can log in either with the account number or with the email address. So firstly, we want to tell the user to input email or account number. So I can say variable email or account number, input, enter your email or account number, then we get the password, variable password, input your password. So the user will enter the password. So I want to compare now. What we are going to do is that we will look through this list. You know, when we wanted to push a value into the list, here is we pushed a dictionary into the list. So this is it. The list will look like this at the end of the day. Firstly, when we append the first dictionary, let's say the first name is Taye. Last name is Abidafa. Then password 1 to 4. Let's just say password is 1 2 3 4 5. Then account number. Of course, the account number will be 10 digits, but because of our time, I will just use maybe 1 2 3 4. Alright. Just put the 4-digit number there. So here is the information of the first user. If another person registered, then it's going to look like this. So for this second person, let's say it's Kenny. Let's say the last name is Ojo. Let's say the password is and let's say the account number is so if another person registered again, it's going to be like this. Do we understand?
Yes.
Yes.
Alright. Any questions to this point? Alright, thank you. So what we're going to do next is that we first pick this first dictionary. We pick it. We will check the account number or the email. We will see if it's the same as the one the user entered here. We will check the we didn't put email. Let me just put an email address. So we'll check the email address or the account number. We will see if it's the same as this one. Then we check the password also, and we'll see if it's the same as this one. If they are the same, then that means we approve the login. So let's look through the list. For accounts, in accounts. So the first account we look will be this one, like it's going to be this first one. So we can now see if email account is equal to accounts represent each dictionary inside this list. Are we getting it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Alright. Equals to accounts. In fact, let's do it this way. Let's first do the password. If password is the same as account password, and that is this part must be true, and this other part now, and email or account is the same as account email or let's break it to the next line. I'll just copy. Accounts. Okay. We named it. We name it account. This is what I'm looking for. Okay. Okay. So if this condition is true, then we can now say, oh, this is successful. Point login successful. Let us know what's going on here. I'm thinking of how to structure this and make it readable, so that you can see, you can understand what is going on better. Look at it like this. This must be true, and this must be true. I come again. This part must be true, and at the same time, this part must be true. Now, for this other part, it is either this is true or this is true. That is, the value you entered here, it can either be the email or it is the account. Do we understand? Like account number now. Do you understand it?
Yes, sir. But sir, I have a question.
Okay, sir.
So, because what my attempt was, I was using email equals to account email or account number equals to account number. Will it work like that?
Okay. Now, you didn't put this password.
Yeah, I put the password. No, I started with account email. So I just say email equals to account email. And I can probably made another mistake, but it was giving me error. So since that time, I've not been able to touch it. So I was just asking if can we just say email equals to account email or account number equals to account without putting the two together. I mean writing email or account number.
No, it depends on how we try to do it. Now, if a user wants to log in, you don't expect the user to supply both email and account number together. That is, I should be able to log in with either my email and password or my account number and password, not with my email, account number and password. Do you get it, sir? Not for me to supply three. For instance, if you want to log into Facebook, it will request for your email or phone number, then your password. Not that it will request for your email separately, your phone number separately, then your password separately. Because if you are using that, it can be tiring to the user. I will need to climb my account number, I need to climb my email, I also need to climb my password. So whichever you find it more convenient to come, either your account number or your email, any of them, you can supply it. Just ensure that you know your password correctly.
Yeah, I got that, sir.
Okay,
Now,
sir.
just saying, assuming line 30 now,
Okay, sir.
you just write email equals to account email or account number. That means you cancel the email and just say accounts inside account. So, will it work like that?
I get your question now. Let's try to you get my point now. Just give me a second. Something like this, Abi.
Yes, sir.
Now, if you observe, a user now needs to enter three things: email, password, and account number. This is what I was saying. A user should not need to enter three things. A user should only need to enter two. You don't need to cram your email and your account number. Whichever you find it more convenient to cram among or between these two. Not that you need to enter this, enter this, just because you want to log in. Do you get it, sir?
Yeah, I got it. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome, sir. Okay. So a user will need to supply either the email or account number. Then, if any of them is the same as this one, but the password must be correct. But for the email, either the email is the same as the one you entered, or the account number is the same as what you entered. Any of them, as long as any of them is the same as that, then the login will be successful. Any questions so far? Mrs. Adeoye,
Sir?
are you following us now? Any questions so far?
I am. I'm here.
Mr. Chinazo, are you following
I'm here,
us, sir?
sir.
Alright, sir. Right, sir.
I'm following.
Okay, sir. So now, after we've supplied that, after we're able to, if these conditions are true, we can now say login successful. But what we want to do next is that maybe you want to display the information of course, you want to do something after the user logged in. But before then, if I've logged in, there is no point to continue running the loop. I think I explained that in the last video. If the user I'm looking for is the very first user, and I've seen it, this is the user that tried to log in. Account will first be the first dictionary here. So, if we've done that, there's no point that we continue to run our loop. We should terminate the loop. So we can just run break. That is, immediately I'm able to see what I'm looking for, just stop the loop immediately. Any questions so far? So, what we want to do is this. If we're able to find the user we are looking for, we can store the user in a variable. But if we are unable to, then the variable can be maybe none or something. So you can say variable find user equals to none, right from beginning. So as soon as I find the user I'm looking for, as soon as this condition is true, I can say find user equals to account. Do you get what is going on? Who can tell me what this account is coming, where it's coming from?
That means it will like display the details of that particular account. The account, like if I log into my mobile app now, it will display everything that has my profile here. has
Okay.
found my account and display my account, display my name, display my account number, and I can see that I can access my account.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Who can help us? Now, like I explained earlier, account will first be this first dictionary. And if this condition is true, let fund user be this account, this account. So we are saving it as variable first fund user so that we can have access to this fund user later. Do you understand it?
No, can you come again?
Alright, look at something now. Now, we have fund user. If this condition is true, fund user equals to account. Where is account coming from? Account is this thing. This one here. For account in accounts. This is the accounts. This list. That is, let's use this. I think this will be better. This list is accounts. This dictionary will first be accounts. Abina, when you are running a loop, the first item inside that list will first be whatever you put here. Do we understand it? So we are saying that if the password is account password and if the email, if it is successful now, if this condition is true, now say fund user equals to that dictionary. Do you get it?
Oh, okay.
So if it is true, just say fund user equals to that dictionary. Now, if it's able to complete the whole loop, and this variable fund user now, if it's still none, that means it did not get to this point at any point in time. Do we understand? If it's able to get to this point, fund user will no longer be none. But if after this whole loop and fund user is still none, that means that it did not get to this point at any point in time. And the implication of that is that this login information, the data the user supplied to login is not correct with any of our own data. Any questions so far? Do you get the concepts? Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, sir. So we can say if fund user is none, that is, it did not get to this point. You can now display data to the user. We can say print incorrect login details. If this fund user, if it is none, that this is outside the loop now. I'm done with this whole loop. If after running the whole loop and it's still none, then display this incorrect login details. You can take the user back to the main menu. I can call on bank app again. Let's call on bank app. So I'm taking the user back to the main menu. Else, else. That is, if it is not none, then we can say print. Then you want to print the user's first name and the user's last name. Like you want to print the information of the user that just logged in. Remember that we've saved the user's info inside this fund user. So we can now say your first name is fund user first name let's just say your full name. Just copy. Oops. So your full name is that fund user, which is this dictionary. Then pick the first name there and the last name there. So display it. After displaying it, well, for now there's no logout there. So let's just take the user back to this bank app. Okay. Point bank app. So that's it. One more thing. Immediately I register, I want to display all the accounts that we've registered so far, so that in case you want, of course, in reality, you don't do this. In reality, you don't do this. But for now, yes, sir.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I think that, or maybe you didn't want to include it here. The part that the user cannot use the same email.
Oh, okay. Let's quickly do that. Thank you, sir. So what we're going to do is that, so that two users will not use the same email, at the point of registration, what we are going to do is that we will check if the email has already been used. So in order to do that, we can say if, in fact, we may even choose not to generate account number now until we confirm that the email has not been used. For accounts, we are looking to the list. If account email, if it's the same with the email that user supplied, point email already exists, then you can get a variable email exists equals to none. So you can say email exists, set it to true. Email exists is true. So once this condition is true, email already exists. Of course, break. See the reason we are using break. The reason we are using break is because as soon as we see what you are looking for, there's no point to continue checking the rest. Because imagine you have 1,000 of accounts, and the account you are looking for is at the second one. You've seen what you are looking for. There's no point checking the remaining 998. That's why we are using this break. So, of course, in reality, we have a database and all, but since we don't have database, here is our database for now. This account is our database. Okay, for account in accounts, accounts represent each of the dictionary inside this list. So you are checking the email. So you are checking the email. You are checking to see if it's the same as the one the user supplied. If at any point the condition is true, it will print email already exists. It will set this variable email exists, and it will terminate this loop so that it can jump to this place. So you can now check if this condition, this variable, if it is true. If email exists, that means if email exists is so that is what we are doing here. Do we get it? If email exists, then you can print okay, you can print email already exists, email. I can remove it from this place. It's fine. I can just remove it from this place. Else, That is, if it's not so, then I can now do every other thing. I take this out of this place. Then I can generate a new account number for the user. If I'm sure that the email does not exist, I can generate a new account number for the user. Then I can append it into this list. Then I can now say registration successful. Do you understand? This part is to handle if the email already exists. We are looking through this list. We are picking the email of each of them. We are comparing it with the one the user supplied while registering. And if they are the same at any point, this variable becomes true and you will break. It doesn't break. So if email exists, that is, if email exists is true, this is what we are doing. If it is true, print email already exists. Now, if is not true, the only condition that will make it not to be true is if we did not get to this point. It's the same concept that we used here. The same concept that we used here. Is if we did not get to this point. So, sorry. And if it did not get here, then it will still be none. It will remain none. Now, if email exists is true, then print out this. But if it's not so, that is, if it's none, then it will generate an account number for the user. Next is, what am I doing? Oh, sorry. Generate account number for the user. Generate this dictionary. Then you can put the accounts equals to this account number that you just generated. You append it to the list. Then you print this message to the user. Do we understand it?
Yes, but I want to ask a question, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay, I just need an explanation on variable. At what point can't we use a variable like e.g. now, fund user,
Okay.
login. Okay, so can you just scroll down a little bit?
Okay, sir.
Okay. Now this fund user equals to okay. Now assuming we did not create any fund user equals to now, and inside the loop we put, I'm just putting as an assumption now,
Okay.
and we now have fund user equals to account. Can we use that variable in another loop inside the same function?
I think Python allows us, yes, Python allows us to do something like this, but it's not a good practice. There's something we call variable scope. Variable scope. And it's good we get used to. In fact, I can do this, then come here and run this, but it's not a good practice. Reason is this. Firstly, not all languages will allow this. You know, I do say something that if I'm teaching you a programming language, I try to teach you what will make it easy for you to adapt to other programming languages. Then, also, I try to teach you best programming concepts. Now, let's talk about variable scope for a bit. Okay. Now, this is it. If I have if statements here, let's say if, and I put my condition here, like this. If I create a variable here, as much as possible, ensure that you don't use this A outside this if block. That is, you don't come outside of this block and say print A. It's not a good practice. If this were to be a function, let's say my func, and I put and I create a variable here, b equals to 5. Of course, if I even try to use this b outside of this function, it will not work, right? But if this b is here, I can use it anywhere within this function. But this a should not be used anywhere within this function because it was created inside this if block. It was created inside this if block. It should not be used outside the if block. This is outside the if block. If I want to use it, it should just be within this if block. But if I get outside of it, you should not. Even if it will work, you should not. Try to maintain the scope. If your variable is created within a function, then you can use it anywhere inside the function. If it's created within an if block, then you can use it anywhere within that same if block. Now, if I can shift my a to this point, let's say for now I don't know what my a will be. Now, a is none. If a is none, then I can now set the value to 2. Then I can use it outside the if block now because I'm using this same variable here. I created it here. I change the value here. That is, if this condition is to change the value to 2, it's different from not bringing this at all. What you are doing here is that you are just identifying, like you are just initializing it. It's like you are creating the variable here, which is different from you first creating it here. You've created it here. You are only changing the value here, and you can now use it here. It's fine. I don't know if you get the explanation.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. I
You're
understand.
welcome, sir. Yes, sir. Please let's try to abide with their programming concept. It will help us a lot. It will help us a lot. We created this variable yes because we want to use this outside this place. Of course, like I said, we could have created it and use it outside, but it's not a good practice. If we created it here so that we can use it anywhere within this login function. Anywhere within this login function, we can use it. We can use it there. Okay. Any other question? Okay. So after, okay, so I'm with you, sir.
Yeah, my question is without the import inbuilt function or inbuilt parameter inside Python, we won't be able to generate account number randomly.
We can generate account number even without using the import function. But we can use there's one action algorithm. We can, in fact, we can. But this looks, should I say, explanatory and easy to understand. We used to do something like this. You can generate an account number like this. Then we use an action algorithm. But this part, action algorithm may be a bit complex to explain. Just put some text here, any text you want. Any text, like I said, any text whatsoever you want. It can be anything of your choice. Then we call this seed. We call this seed. Then this is going to generate a hash for us. Then what we are now going to do is that we want to say this hash. Let me explain it from this place. But the random one is easier to explain. This will generate an hash for us. Then this here, I think this converts it to a number. Then you can now say, let's say you want to generate a 10-digit number. You now say times 10 is power 10. Let me even run it there so that we see it. Python. I just put a text there. So when you run this is going to generate a very long number. This ABS is going to generate a very long number for you. So you want to say I think I've closed this. Then I've closed this. Okay. Let me just copy this and paste this somewhere here. So Python Torpedo.py. Oh, it's not. Oh, points. Let's point it. So this is generating a 10-digit number first. But like I said, this random is easier to explain than explaining National algorithm, dividing it by getting the modulo 10 raised power 10. The reason this is 10 raised power 10 is because we want to generate 10 numbers. If it is 5 numbers, this will be 10 raised power 5. So this does not require you to use any imports. Do you get it?
Yeah, I get it. But if you are using this method, at what point will it generate account number to already start using?
You will just replace this here. Where is it? Under registration, where are we generating our account number? You just replace this with the ABS hash and this is the only line you will replace. So any other question?
My own question is,
Okay.
I actually attempted this assignment, but I got hooked where to generate account number. I didn't know how. And you've told us not to use AI to solve all those issues. So when next we have issues like this, where and how do you think we can get
Okay.
tips on how to work on it? Because now I never knew about this random thing. If I knew, maybe I would have used it because we've not been taught. So is there a way, like, is there a place we can go to that we can get tips on how to solve assignments?
Oh, thank you. Beautiful question. Now, this is it. Whenever you are doing tasks like this, and maybe you are finding ways to generate account number, you can Google search generate account number in Python programming. That will solve. But what you don't do is that you won't go to AI and say, I want to build a banking app. Write the code for me. No, you're not going to learn like that. But maybe, oh, sorry, a second, please. Let me quickly plug this.
Are you in band here? You have lights.